It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction beat me, yo, 278. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. It is Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday once again. So y'all know what channel we about to go back to. Y'all know which one of them true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious, what the is going on type of story content creators on YouTube we about to check out. That man, Mike, from that chapter. Going back to Mike again, y'all. And the title of this one is confessing to police he killed 3 because they were unhappy. So it sounds like somebody just told the police some bullshit. And I mean, if you killed them because they was unhappy, I'm trying to see, did the killer kill them 3 people because he was unhappy, or he saying he killed them because they were unhappy? Any way it go is bullshit. I'm already getting frustrated at this story. We ain't even started, my brothers and sisters. But before we get started, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you might need. Get what you need. That chapter Tuesdays. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in 2015 in Alberta, Canada, there was a series of events that were so shocking, the only explanation was that the red fella downstairs made him do it. This was in a small town in like the most remote of wilderness. The first was for practice. The other 2 were unspeakable. Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need.
This whole video takes us to Blair, and it gave me some more of it, Alberta. That's Blairmore. It is in the Crow's Nest Pass municipality, named so because it sits right on this little pass between the mountains of Alberta and British Columbia. It's a mining town, you know, the Springsteen songs, and it's pretty diverse, you know, people coming from all over to get the pickaxe out. Now though, it's way more well known for, you know, its scenic beauty, its hiking, fishing, mountain biking, all that. Something the 1,500 residents of Blairmore and the area, you know, they all depend on, lest they join the ever-growing number of ghost towns that surround. Working hard to avoid joining any of those was 27-year-old Terry Blanchette. Terry worked as a cook at Pure Country Bar and Grill in Frank, which was the next town over, and he was all about his little girl, 2-year-old Haley.
Please don't tell me that Haley is one of the ones that he ended up killing. I hate when stories start off like this, because you know our mind already start going to like, did he kill little Haley? Oh my God, that'll be fucked up.
She was, you know, the absolute light of his life. Terry had like a minor, small criminal history, assault and theft. But when his daughter Haley was born in 2013, he decided to turn it all around and he wanted to start fresh. Haley's mother was Cheyenne Dunbar, and you know, they'd all like been together when Haley was born, but a couple of months later they broke up. She would move to Edmonton, but they would split custody of Haley. You know, they split up, but it was a very amicable separation. They both, you know, just wanted to do the best for their little girl. They talked often, you know, they would send each other pictures all the time, and they would describe each other as great parents. Haley, great kid, happy-go-lucky and close with her grandparents, Terry's parents too. Life wasn't easy, you know, things were hard, but they were happy. So what's the little hardship? You know, in the face of happiness. On the 14th of September 2015, Terry's father, William Blanchette, he was traveling from his home in Elkford, British Columbia to Calgary, Alberta, and that little road trip would take him right through Crow's Nest and Blairmore. So that day he was, I'll stop in to my son and my granddaughter, we'll grab lunch. He arrived, on the 14th that morning, knocked on Terry's door, to no answer. Nothing. He went back to his car, 10:30, it was right 10:30 a.m., texted his son, "Hey, are you up?" No response. So he was thinking, alright, here, listen, I need to get fuel. He drove his truck over to the nearest gas station, topped it up, and then tried calling Terry again. To once again no answer. So then he drove back to Terry's house, and this time he's thinking, okay, maybe my son's phone is dead, right? So he went inside.
Oh shit.
He walked in, and the house was absolutely dead quiet. He was expecting to hear the TV, the sounds of a 2-year-old, but instead it was just eerie silence. And as he walked through the house, he started noticing things were off. Messes. A few bits and bobs had been, knocked over. And as he was walking down the hallway, he just managed to glance in to the bathroom. And it was in there he saw something on the floor.
Oh shit.
There he saw his son Terry lying in a pool of blood, partially covered up with a blanket. And there was absolutely no sign of Haley in the house. He then called the RCMP. Terry had head injuries and a large cut from one side of his neck to the other. There were bloodstains in his bedroom, leading the police to believe that that's where it all began. And then Terry had been dragged into the bathroom. But where was Haley? There was blood smears on the door leading into her bedroom, on her blanket, on her doll, in her crib. Just not her. At 3:30 a.m. the night before, the fella who lived out back, the house behind Terry's, he'd been awoken in the middle of the night to hearing some strange sounds. Someone snooping around, creeping around. Somebody up to some creepy shit. A white van was also seen on CCTV in the area that night, but it was a white van. White van! What else he got? It did have a large antenna and a flag on the antenna, but there wasn't much else to go on other than be on the lookout for a white van.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news from Blairmore in southern Alberta. Already the scene today of an Amber Alert. Police now tell us a father has been murdered.
This is 2-year-old Haley Dunbar Blanchette. Police across our province and in BC, Saskatchewan, and now Montana are on the lookout for her tonight. And they're asking you to be on the lookout too.
An Amber Alert was swiftly put out to try and find the missing child. This was terrifying. Someone had broken into a house in the middle of the night and... goddamn some bitch. The Amber Alert was put out, for Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Montana if anybody saw Haley. The RCMP were worried that whoever kidnapped her might try and escape into the United States. This Amber Alert was later then updated to include the description of the white van with the antenna. Everywhere this was. The community were up and at him almost immediately because...
Bruh, I gotta stop it real quick, my brothers and sisters, cause this shit here is kind of terrifying. It is, it is terrifying because I'm just praying to the Lord up above that at least Haley is gonna be found safe. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that she ain't been murdered too. And I just want to take back what I said earlier, man. I kind of feel sorry for thinking that the daddy, I think his name was Terry, actually murdered Haley. Come to find out he got murdered and his damn daughter got kidnapped. I'm so worried for Haley, y'all. And who would do this? Who is this person?
Because, get this, fear and uncertainty were pretty rife in the community. At this particular time, less than a week before this horrific murder and kidnapping, there had been another murder in this community. 69-year-old Hannah Mekatek, another resident of Coleman, which is just, a couple of minutes down the road, she had been found murdered in her trailer. She was a very caring, loving woman, and I guess it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, this sort of stuff doesn't happen in Crow's Nest. She was found in her home September 9th after a neighbor requested a welfare check to be done on her. She was found in her bedroom. Somebody had broken in. The door showed signs of being forced open. There were signs of a struggle that she had fought whoever had broken in. Her skull had been caved in with an item like a pipe or a baseball bat. And then her throat had been cut open. Almost the exact same thing as what had happened to Terry. Question?
Okay. Whoever did this shit is some random ass serial killer. That's what I'm thinking now, because the way he murdered both of them, then you looking at them pictures, y'all, and seeing that just that bloodshed going throughout the house, it's just a very gruesome scene. The way he murdered these people, like he made it bad, and you murdered an old lady, bro, like an old innocent lady, bro, that can't do nothing, bro. And on top of that, you done kidnapped Haley. And now, y'all, I'm thinking that Haley dead. I'm just gonna go and say it because of the title of the video. It says, confessing to police he killed 3. Number 1 that Mike talked about was the daddy Terry, right? Number 2 is the older lady, right? And I think number 3 is Haley. I just got depressed as fuck watching this shit, man. Damn.
Questions about this then began immediately. There was any, link between the two, but the police were quick to dismiss, any connection. The searches were on. Locals, neighbors, air units, roadblocks. Cheyenne, of course, rushed to Crow's Nest to find her daughter. The crime scene was processed, and luminol was used, and it located footprints. Bloodied footprints leading away from the house. Then, likely into that white van, and off it went. Vigils were done, and calls were made that might be useful to the police, especially regarding that white van. And speaking of disappearing, that's not my best transition. This whole video is sponsored by Aura.
I knew Mike finna come hit damn commercials, but yeah, man, this shit here, man, got me goddamn depressed now, man. This one of the ones that got me sad, y'all, because I'm just thinking about the damn little girl, man, getting kidnapped like that after her daddy being killed. I don't know if she dead or not. My fault, y'all. I don't know if she dead or not, man. This shit here, oh my God. Let's go.
Timely dry cleaning services or custom clothing alterations and repairs come into Prestige Cleaners and Tailors in downtown Blair.
Hold on, we gotta take that back, because we missed something. Let's go. My fault again.
Terrified by how much of your information is out there on the web, but don't worry, Aura's got your back, my friends. Now, speaking of back, let's get back into it. If you needed something cleaned and you wanted it done with Prestige, you might contact, in the bustling heart of downtown Blairmore, Prestige Cleaners.
When you need timely dry cleaning services or custom clothing alterations and repairs, come into Prestige Cleaners and Tailors in downtown Blairmore.
Prestige Cleaners was a family business owned by none other than the Zaretsky's for over 47 years. That was started by parents Nick and Tina, and now their grown-up sons, Kevin and Larry, owned it. Maybe it would even pass to the next generation. Larry, he had a 22-year-old son named Derek Zaretsky, and he had worked there for a couple of months, but really didn't seem too keen on diving into, cleaning. And it was Larry Zaretsky who, after hearing about this, the Amber learned the horrific disappearance that had just happened, horrific murder and disappearance that just happened right down the road. He called the police. Prestige Cleaners used those white vans with the antennas and the flags. They had 3 of them. One of those white vans had been taken without permission sometime between September 13th and September 14th, the night of the murder. Now, by whom, the family didn't know, but, it was a work van. It had last been used on September 11th, and then, somebody had used it. They didn't know, and none of the employees knew who had used it, but it wasn't where it had been left parked, and the odometer had a couple of extra miles on it. So he phoned this in, and the police said it will be right over. So who had used it, and had it been used, what you thinking for? While awaiting the cops, Larry's son Derek just happened to stroll into the cleaners, and Larry noticed his son was a little bit off. Like he wanted to talk about something. He was, odd. Larry said, "What's the crack with you? Do you know anything about this missing murder stuff that's going on that just happened down the road?" Derek replied, "Haley is in heaven now."
What the?
He then became incoherent and started talking gibberish. The police arrived, and Derek repeated what he had said to his dad to the police, and he was arrested.
What in?
Just to let you know, Derek, that you have been identified as a suspect. Okay? In Haley's disappearance and Terry's death. Yeah, I get it. Okay. You know what happened to Haley? I think you're comfortable with saying that.
Let's start with, is she alive?
I can tell you.
Is there a possibility she's still alive?
Possibility, I guess. Derek, this is a serious investigation here. Someone's been killed, someone's been murdered, and we have a 2-year-old that we have to find. Yeah. Their spirits floating around.
Bro, I don't think my brothers and sisters, I don't think we have ever witnessed a serial killer like this. Because he's so nonchalant with it. It seemed like he just did the shit so randomly. Then he even confessing to it. Like it seemed like this dude possessed. I don't believe in getting possessed by demons and shit, but if anybody been possessed by demons, it seemed like he got possessed by some kind of evil spirit that just came up in him out of nowhere, just told him to just start killing people. But at the same time, you really don't care, and I don't even want to talk about it no more. I don't even want to say what I was just finna say. This shit crazy, but long story short, short story long, this motherfucker just don't look like he give a fuck. And it's so random. He just did this shit randomly. He don't even know these damn people.
The police did a search of the van that had been missing, and guess what? Blood was found inside. Showed clear as day because it was blue, and that's how everybody was feeling, and floor mats inside the van were missing also. The police immediately then searched Derek's apartment, hoping, praying to find Haley, that he had been the one who kidnapped her, that she was alive. Derek lived right next door to the cleaners, so they didn't have to go far. While searching his place, which quite frankly looked like a serial killer's home, they found blood on a doorknob, droplets in the living room, and latex gloves and boots which appeared to have blood on them. They found a hammer, a hatchet, and books on cannibalism. He even wrote on his own table, "One shot, one kill," and "This is not the end. Death is only the beginning." They also found a notebook in his apartment which read, "Hannah, sleepers for the dogs. Hannah had dogs." Shy, Terry, the hideous baby.
I'm not asking if you did it.
I didn't do it, so I
I'm
can't
not.
tell you where she is. Because I didn't do any of it. I didn't do any of it.
The investigators aren't just guessing that it's you, right? You do realize that, right? Their case is very strong.
I don't know, I didn't do it.
Initially, he denied any involvement.
Oh, now the demon gone up out of him. Now he back to reality. Now he ain't on that crazy shit no more. He done been sitting up in goddamn jail thinking about this shit. Now you want to claim that you ain't do it. But at first you just, Haley's in heaven. What else do you think we supposed to imply when you say some shit like that? Now I'm mad. I done went from being depressed to being mad at this lying motherfucker, y'all. I swear to God, man. I swear on my life, these fucking murderers, man, they just need to be murdered themselves. Fuck all that other shit, man. Don't fuck talking about 20 to life, 25 to life, 30 years, 60 years, 40 years, then the next 10 years, the possibility of parole. Fuck all that. Death penalty.
But after, a couple of hours of questioning, it became pretty apparent they were not going to find Haley alive.
Damn.
She needs to come home. Where is she, buddy? Derek. Where is she?
The devil made me turn her into ashes.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Is it in the bush where you burnt her? Is that where she died?
Yeah, I was in the bush.
How did you kill her?
I choked her.
Okay.
Just like he choked me.
Yeah. Did she suffer?
A little bit.
A little bit?
He told me to save myself. On my own. He said I had to do some soul searching.
He said killing her would save you?
Ah, the good old devil made him do it. This fucking guy. Is the devil in the room with us right now? Should we fuck him up? Not far from down Blairmore lies a 160-acre property out in the countryside. What's called the ranch. It's owned by 3 sisters. They all share it. And one of those sisters is named Carmela Soretsky. And she is married to Kevin Soretsky. So she's married to Derek's uncle. Carmela has a son named Shane, who would be, Derek's cousin. And on the 13th of September, he was at the ranch. He was there, and when he was leaving, he was making sure the fire pit, was completely empty, it wasn't smoldering or anything, and there was no, foreign objects inside. He returned 2 days later, on the 15th of September. Now, he had heard all about, the horrific events at the Blanchette home, and the Amber Alert, and everything like that. Now, he was back at the ranch because he had just forgotten some stuff when he'd been there a couple of days earlier, so he's back to collect. And while he was on the property, he noticed smoke coming from the fire pit. It had been used since he had left, and he didn't know anybody else had been here. So he walked over and he looked inside, and it was still smouldering. And then he kind of, with his stick, and he saw small bones. He was pretty sure they weren't in there when he left. He called the police immediately, and he led them to the fire pit. A lot of evidence was uncovered, and when confronted with this, Derek would lead them back and reenact what had happened.
That's on 129th Street?
Yeah. I don't know, I just seen the fire pit was there. Yeah, it's...
Okay, so we'll get out, talk about it. I'll get your door and stuff. Here.
Yeah.
So where did you take Haley?
Over here.
Whereabouts? Can you just show me? Just take me right there.
This was moved.
This was moved?
This was... something else. Where it was.
You don't need to move it, but...
Or right here.
So you had Haley right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do?
There, yeah.
What did you do first?
I started stocking the fire pile with books. A whole bunch of books till I got the fire decently going and put some wood on it. Then I choked her over there.
Where? You wanna take
Over
me?
there, about...
You just take me to the spot?
It was over here.
Okay.
He told them he had brought Haley, he kidnapped her that night, and he had brought her to the ranch. Then there he had strangled her with a shoelace. Then he dismembered her. He poured some of her blood into a bottle, and he drank it. And then he ate some of her heart to give him strength.
How did you choke her?
With the shoelace and a string.
Where did you get the shoelace?
I don't know where I got it from. I just had it in one of the bags.
Did you cut her before you choked her to death, or did you cut her
I choked her first.
so she was dead when you cut her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
I understand, but you're doing a great job, so you should start to feel better. This should be healing for you. Did you...
Should be. Probably won't be.
No, it
Still
will be.
won't get me to where I want to be.
It's a start, like it's the first day of the rest of your life.
I ate a little bit of her heart
You ate a bit of her heart?
to try to strengthen mine.
And how did that make you
I
feel?
drank a bit of her blood to try to strengthen me
And how did that make you feel?
a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Well, maybe it gave you the strength to tell the truth to you.
It did make me strong
It did?
for a bit. Just a little bit.
He then burned her remains.
Man, did y'all just fucking hear that shit? Oh my God in the world. Can somebody please freaking help me? That's why I be saying, man, like some of this you can't make up. It just make you just think about how the movies really ain't fake. Like I be saying, like you can't make this shit up in a movie, but then it make you think about without real life there wouldn't be no movies. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's created in the movie, somebody done did in real life. That's what I'm starting to believe. The more and more we watch these crazy ass stories like this, I'm starting to think every goddamn movie when it comes to this murder shit is based off of, or at least somebody has actually done the shit in real life. Not only did you fucking murder these people, not only did you kidnap this little girl, but you cut her body up and then you drunk her blood, some of her blood, and ate a piece of her heart. Like, who can make this shit up, man? Now I'm going back to who can make it up, but it can be made up, because guess what? Humans can actually do the shit, and that shit really do be happening out here. This is fucking crazy.
In the fire pits. After that, he went home and he smoked a gibber. Derek was charged with the murders of Haley and Terry. As for what kind of person Derek was, no one really had much to say. Kept to himself, came from a good family, described as a quiet and a decent kid. Had some run-ins with the police for burglary, but nothing major. When he was arrested, everyone was simply shocked.
I don't know why anybody would do that to her. Police say they are still looking for evidence to answer why. 2 counts of first-degree murder and another disturbing charge.
Mr. Soretsky also faces 1 count of indignity to a human body in relation to Haley's death.
Months later, while being interviewed, he admitted he had also murdered Hannah. He was always on the suspect list for that one. I mean, her name was found in a notebook in his house, and he was neighbors with her, for God's sake. Like, he mowed her lawn all the time.
Wow.
As for motive, I mean, a motive being other than him being an absolute nutbar psychopath, he said that he had feelings for Cheyenne Dunbar, Terry's ex, Haley's mother. When he broke into the Blanchette home that night, he didn't know Cheyenne didn't live there anymore. He thought she did. He didn't realize they'd broken up months ago and she was now living in Edmonton. So, wow, I hear you're barking, big dog. Was this, a love triangle, a tale of jealousy, something? Derek claimed that they dated. Had they? The short answer, and really the only answer, is no. Cheyenne would take the stand at trial saying yes, they'd become friends shortly after the birth of Haley. They'd hung out a couple of times. That was it. Never romantic. They were friends for like 5 months. They'd hang out from time to time. That was it. Derek clearly felt differently about it though. In fact, he would say the motive for murdering Terry Blanchette was that he believed Terry was abusive to Cheyenne, and he also said Terry gave him a dirty look one time, and I did not like that at all. He believed Haley, 2-year-old Haley was, he saw pictures of Haley on social media, and he believed in those pictures she looked unhappy living with her dad. So, to Derek's mind, she would be better off dead. Hannah, she was killed simply for practice. That's what Derek said. He said he didn't believe she would be missed. So, may as well have a trial run beforehand. He didn't think she would be missed, the beloved grandmother.
Why'd you pick her? I didn't think anybody cared about her.
In custody, Derek tried to take his own life and had to be placed into a medically induced coma, but he would make a full recovery. He would later be rushed to hospital again after starving himself. He was ultimately determined competent to stand trial. In June of 2017, Derek Soretsky was found guilty on 3 counts of first-degree murder. Derek Soretsky was, in August 2017, sentenced to 75 years without parole for the murders of Hannah Mekatek, Terry Blanchette, and Haley Dunbar Blanchette. Derek showed no emotion at sentencing. It was one of Canada's strongest sentences. And there you go. A story, a tale of a tragic and terrifying man who, committed a completely unspeakable crime against the most innocent of us, and kind of just like everybody around him. People staying in their home thinking they're safe. Guess what? No. Sick bastard, this whole devil made me do it shite. He's in the only place he should be right now. Locked away without a key. Fucking plenty of time to hang out with your pal in there. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are great. It really means the world to me. The next old video, it'll be up in a couple of days. So please check that out and look forward to that. And also, you know, check out Twitter, Instagram, _chatroom both. And check out the Patreon for early access to videos and exclusive videos. And also the podcast, where I'm telling a whole load of also exclusive stories there. So give it a go. But until, you know, the next one, look after each other and yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.
Whoo-wee, my brothers and sisters. I ain't gonna lie. At the end of this video, the emotion I'm feeling now is fucking exhausted. Like, I'm just exhausted with Derek, man. Derek, like, damn, bro. It's really people in this world that just really that fucking sick in the head. That just, I mean, it ain't no way to subscribe. The other way to describe him. There's no other way. This man was pure evil, maniac, demonic, sick type of human being. Like, and it's crazy because he was almost like a wolf in sheep clothing for real, because everybody around him just thought he was a regular person like me and you see every day. Just like one of your co-workers would be a regular person, or whoever, somebody you see in the grocery store. Seemed like he was a regular dude who was living a regular life, and then for some reason he just did the most crazy shit ever. I feel so goddamn sorry for that little girl though, man. I know she in a better place now, but god damn, bro. Cause when he was describing how he ended up killing her, taking her to that little campsite or whatever it was, and then strangling her and cutting her body up, throwing her in the fire and doing all that. I'm just mad. at that time I was just thinking, and I'm thinking about it now, man. Like, imagine if you was a little child in that situation and you about to die. You a little child. It's not only that somebody somebody about to kill you, but you a little child. You already been kidnapped. You already done seen your daddy get killed. Man, how can people do shit like that to other people? Especially a little baby. What in the fuck? Like I said, y'all, this man here just got me exhausted at the end of the day. I was sad at the beginning of the video, then I got pissed off at Derek ass, and then I just kept dealing with his bullshit. And I just like, man, I'm tired of this dude, man. I'm just tired of this dude, man. Like, just give him that life in prison. I said death penalty, but hey, life in prison without parole is the next closest thing. So we will take that, my brothers and sisters. We'll take that. And I digress. I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here now, man, because I really want to rant longer and longer, but I feel like I done said enough. Just make sure y'all hit that like button. Comment, subscribe, and do all that. If you ain't subscribed yet, man, make sure you subscribe, bro. We on the way, bro. We on the way to Reaction Beanie Yo 300. Coming real soon. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. But until I see y'all tomorrow, my brothers and sisters, love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.